Hey guys, welcome back to Echocast. If you don't know us, we are a bunch of YouTubers who record on a server called Echocraft. Make videos on a server called Echocraft. Dang it.
Why did I volunteer to host this?
Okay. I'm keeping that. Hey guys, welcome back to Echocast. As I mentioned, I am your host, Pokemaniac 101, who probably is not the best person to host this thing. We are a bunch of YouTubers who make videos on a server called Echocraft. So we decided to make a podcast out of it. Just hang out and chat about not just Minecraft, but we're all a bunch of nerds, so just anything. We've talked about Halo, Harry Potter, Star Wars, all kinds of stuff on here, so... yeah, hope you are looking forward to that. If this is your first time, it's like episode 8 or something like that, so I'm not sure why this would be your first time, but if it is, welcome. So, hello PizzaBuff.
Hello. How's it going? Yes, I can confirm that the nerddom is strong in this community.
Yeah. We are probably two of the nerdiest on the server too, so it's like
we're the top dogs in terms of nerds.
Yeah. Anyway, how have you been doing? Like, you've been busy in Minecraft. We've both been busy in Minecraft right now with the Wheat Wars, which is, if you guys haven't been watching the videos, again, I don't know why you'd be listening to this if you aren't watching the actual Echocraft series, but if you haven't, if you just randomly found us on Spotify or something like that, we've got a server-wide minigame going on right now to collect the most wheat seeds possible. Try to collect as much wheat seeds as you can. My brain just died. I just had like a stroke or something.
We're collecting more wheat seeds so Pokey can make fields of wheat in his base.
Yes, I need wheat seeds for my base area, and so I thought I'd scalp them off my server mates. Free labor. You are currently in the lead, I think. Lucid's kind of catching up.
Yeah, not by a ton though. Lucid, I don't know where he got 6 double chests of wheat seeds from. I just looked now, and that is scaring me. I need to pick it up a little bit.
Okay, I knew. So Lucid did confide in me a couple days ago that he was like going hardcore into this, and told me not to let. He like asked me not to update the points until he was like at a bigger amount. It's like he didn't want you seeing. Wow. He was asking me, he's like, oh, you should come over here and calculate my points so I can see how much I have. But I was like, okay, if I do that, I'm gonna have to put it in your hourglass. If you guys aren't watching,
like, okay, don't do that.
Yeah, everyone's got like a big hourglass that shows the points everyone has. So he's like, okay, actually don't update my points for another few days or so pizza doesn't. So I have like a few days on pizza.
Wow, he's really trying to one up me here. Well, I can tell you what, he's not going to win this, because I may have no life and I may still be busy, but he has a full-time job and I do not. I have the advantage here, and if I don't win, I will have been, honestly, if I don't win, more respect to Lucid, honestly, just because despite me no-lifing this, if I still lose, that's gonna be incredible on his end.
Well, he's also
honestly my biggest issue is bone meal generation. I can't generate enough bone meal to sustain the farm efficiently, so I have to like switch between the farm and skeleton grinder, and it's a bit of a process. But
I do know Lucid has a personal skeleton grinder that he's been using.
Yep, me too. One as well.
Oh, cool. I'm not even sure if I want to like participate in this. Like, I have no points on the board right now at all. But like I am starting to plant a few wheat fields so I can get packed mud for my mega base. So I can actually start getting on that. So I'm building like a temporary wheat farm right now, and I might just like have the leftover seeds from there and put it into the competition. But you
Yeah.
threw in a wrench into the whole thing by pulling in an IOU from a month or two ago. Something I just completely forgot about, and so basically I have to give you half my wheat seeds.
Yeah,
Which is,
I should have done it at the end though. I should have like let you build up a ton of them, because now you don't want to do it, because then half of them go to me. In retrospect, I should have just been like, oh, half of the wheat seeds that you've like gotten like 6 like chests worth of stacks. Yeah, half of those are mine.
Yeah. Well, okay. So but since I did create the game, I did throw in a rule, a challenge rule, so people can challenge each other for certain amounts of wheat seeds and stuff. So hopefully that could balance it out. I am thinking of possibilities to try to get back at you with that.
I've thought of a couple ways to challenge people, particularly Lucid. Now I don't even know if he'll take it. Like, do they have to take it if someone like challenges you?
They don't have to, but like for the sake of content, I bet a lot of people would.
Yeah, but my issue is that my one idea was I assume this won't come out within the next like week and a half probably, so I'll have time to make my video, but I want to build like a coliseum at my base and just challenge people to PvP battles.
Oh, that'd be
because
cool.
my thought process is I've been playing like MCCI for the last like 3 weeks, just training, and hasn't been able to go towards anything. So now I just need to like PvP someone, and then I can get seeds in the process.
Yeah. That'd be cool, because you said your base is like a Roman fortress in the mountains, which is like super cool. Like it's obviously you've only got like one building there, but like some of the outlines you've put around makes me really excited to see how it ends up turning out. But
yeah, it should be really cool, but we'll see.
Yeah, but I also had the idea, like the first episode of the season, I found an underground cavern that I thought
you told me about
this
perfect
PvP arena, because it's got shriekers in there, so we could throw in some redstone, whatever, to have like I'm thinking like you could do PvP. You could turn off the shriekers, put wool around them or whatever with redstone. You can have like PvP or PvE game modes.
Yeah. Like the almost how like in Thor Ragnarok or something, how they just like lower the gate and then like the Hulk just like smashes into the
something
arena.
like that.
But that with like
it's
a
all
warden,
like but it's like it's all floating over lava too, so it's just like super cool. The whole thing is like super bright. So I'm thinking like maybe I throw in a mob farm or something like that in a nearby cave, and then funnel them through for like a PvE mode, along with like the ward. And then like the longer you live, like say I have a redstone timer, after say like 5 minutes or something like that, if you aren't dead by 5 minutes, the wardens start spawning. So it increases, so like the rate increases as it goes on.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I do know there are some cave spider spawners. Hello.
Yeah, your voice just cut out for a second there. It's
I'm
back now.
Yeah, I don't have the best internet in the world, but anyway, I was saying, I don't know how close the nearby mine shafts are. I'm pretty sure there are some mine shafts nearby that we might be able to get some cave spider spawners close enough. The only problem would just be like the spawn distance. You need to be like within a chunk or two of a spider spawner for it to actually work.
I'm pretty sure it's like 10 blocks or something for
something
it to
like that.
be.
Yeah. Well, I made a Halloween maze in last season, and I learned that the hard way, because I built it over a skeleton and cave spider dual spawner setup.
Oh no.
And basically,
and it just didn't work.
As the thing started, I wasn't participating. Everyone else was, for this Halloween event. So I basically just had to AFK down there right before the event started to get mob spawning.
Oh yeah.
So I was AFKing down there before the event, and then I came up to the surface to introduce everyone to the event, and then everything had despawned because I was too far away. Yeah, so I had to go back. I had to go back down. So the monsters didn't actually start spawning until like halfway through the maze, but it worked out perfectly because the actual hole they popped up out of was halfway through the maze. So
yeah.
They didn't
So
actually
it
have
was
to.
actually well
They weren't
timed.
fighting. Either way, they weren't going to be fighting any towards the beginning.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, caves. Yeah, spawners can be useful, but like
To a limited extent.
yeah, they're limited. So something like that. I might just make like a mob, like one of those a classic dark room mob spawner, and just have mobs like funneling through. I think that could be super cool. So it looks like we got a few PvP arenas coming onto the server sometime, which would be
Yeah, that'd be
cool.
pretty cool.
I do know I really want to be. One thing I really want to do this season is facilitate.
Facilitate. Yeah.
Okay, facilitate is like It's like Dr. Facilier from Princess and the Frog.
Facilier.
I just found out.
Is it Facilier or Facilier?
Facilier. He's I think it's a French name. But I just found out the other week that he's voiced by Keith David.
Oh.
The same guy who does the Arbiter. And it's like,
that's
dang.
Interesting.
And
he
like
must be very good at changing his voice then.
Yeah. Well, also I think they've got like filters and stuff in the in the Halo games, but yeah, I was like, oh wow, this guy is the Arbiter, and I knew Phil Facilier first. I only just recently got into Halo, but yeah, it was just interesting. It's like, oh, these guys are. It's like finding out Bill Nighy is Davy Jones in Pirates, and so it's like I know him from Harry Potter. It's like I know him. I know Scrimgeour from Harry Potter, and I've been rewatching those recently. So I just watched Deathly Hallows Part 1 yesterday, and so I was thinking about that. I was like, okay, this guy is Davy Jones. I cannot see it, which is great. Like it shows he's just like a great actor if he can just do that believably.
Completely distinguish between two different characters. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like not have it be at all the same person, but it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and he had the benefit of like CG.
That's true.
With Davy Jones, but like with voice actors, they have the benefit there where you can't see their face. So as long as they can change their voice, like you
They're
can't
rolling,
tell. Yeah. Whereas you might be able to tell someone's putting on an accent in live action if you've seen them in something else.
There are certain actors that I feel like are very good at certain types of roles. Like I'm forgetting what his name is, but he played the in The Mandalorian, he played the I'm now forgetting what his name is. The guy who had the Darksaber for the longest time, controlled the Dark Troopers.
Moff Gideon.
Moff Gideon, yeah. He plays
Giancarlo Esposito.
He's very good at playing villain characters, I've noticed. Like that's just the kind of role he fits into, because he was also in Far Cry 6, I think, as the villain. Or like some like he was
in Far Cry, and he was also in Breaking Bad, I think.
Yeah. And
I've only seen Mando though out of those three, so I don't know how good he is, but yeah.
I've just noticed that he's pops up a lot as villain characters, and same thing with the guy who played Director Krennic, because he also played the CEO of the IOI in Ready Player One, and he smashed both of those roles. Like he is just a really good villain character as well. And like
he's a great hero character too, though. He played
he's played hero characters too.
He is in the MCU as what's his name?
The Skrull.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
I'm forgetting his name.
Oh, does it start with an M?
I'm just gonna look up main Skrull character.
Yeah, main Skrull character. But he did a great job. Like you think he's the villain for like the first half of the movie, but then it's revealed that he's... What? No, that's not him. I think that might be his wife.
Oh wait, maybe
that might be a Secret Invasion character. I haven't seen Secret Invasion yet. Captain Marvel. Look up Captain Marvel.
Oh, that's a spoiler from Secret Invasion. Captain Marvel. Talos. It's Talos.
Talos, yes. Talos, yeah. But he's such a cool guy, and whoever's, I don't know if you the actor's there too. I don't remember his name, but
yeah, I don't remember.
But yeah, he does great he does a lot of villain characters, but he's also just great in general. Like he's a really good
Yeah.
actor. Oh, I this is another. We've kind of gone onto actor talk, but this is something I was watching a few interviews last night from Ian McKellen, who played Gandalf, and he and Michael Gambon get mistaken for each other so much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like apparently Michael Gambon, whenever someone comes up to him thinking he's Ian McKellen, he just signs Ian McKellen's name, just does that. But
that reminds
me.
They
What one thing? So they made a body double on the Hobbit films. They made a they made a dummy to play like a death scene or something like that. I think in the Hobbit movies he like kind of dies and comes back, or like he's just like gravely injured or something like that. Anyway, they've got like this injured dummy of Ian McKellen, and it looks so much like Michael Gambon, just like on accident. and so on the call sheets, they actually labeled him as Michael Gambon. So they're like, okay, we need Michael on set, and they just bring the dummy. They're like, that was on the internal call sheets because it was just.
So they didn't just have to say,
perfect.
"Oh, bring in the dummy." Nope, just bring in Michael. Bring in Michael. That's funny. It reminds me of a story I heard. It's not about actors, but there was a guy who was a scientist in Germany around when Albert Einstein was becoming like famous, and he looked exactly like Albert Einstein. And people will go up to him on trains and be like, "Hey, Albert Einstein, you're awesome. Can I have your signature or something?" And he was just a nice guy. He didn't want to like disappoint him or anything, so he just signed Albert Einstein. So there are like dozens of like different signed things by Albert Einstein, quote unquote, that aren't actually signed by Albert Einstein.
That is super funny. Oh man. Well, there was also along with like the Ian McKellen, Michael Gambon, there's another Lord of the Rings Harry Potter pair that get mistaken for each other, and that's Daniel Radcliffe and what's his name? Dang it! How am I forgetting his name? Wood. The guy who played Frodo. It's the guy who played Frodo. Shoot.
Elijah Wood.
Elijah Wood. Yes, thank you. My brother's gonna kill me. he's
I can see that. That one's a little bit more stretchy. But I can see it.
It's more stretchy because they don't exactly look alike, really. I mean, in real life, Dan Radcliffe doesn't actually wear glasses, so they look a bit more like each other in real life. But in the movies, they don't really. It's more just like the movies came out at the same time, and they are both just like the leads in fantasy movies.
Elijah Wood's eyes are very different. I'm looking at like there
his
are
eyes
just
are
a
like
bunch
very
of images
blue,
here,
aren't they?
Yeah, and they're also wider than Daniel Radcliffe's,
Mm-hmm.
and his eyebrows are thinner and less dark. Why am I looking at this? Why?
Well, I was thinking though, like the early 2000s were great for fantasy and sci-fi fans.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 99 was Phantom Menace, 2001 was Sorcerer's Stone and Fellowship of the Ring, 2002 was Chamber of Secrets and Two Towers, 2002 was also Attack of the Clones, Chamber of Secrets, Two Towers.
Yeah.
2003 was Return of the King, 2004 Prisoner of Azkaban, 2005 Goblet of Fire and Revenge of the Sith. So like those series just like all just overlapped each other in the early 2000s, and it must have been like great to be living in that time being fans of those franchises.
Kind of weird how I was born just after all of those, and I still managed to get into almost all of those series.
Mm-hmm. It's so funny. So John Williams did both Chamber of Secrets and Attack of the Clones in the same year, and I think he did a third movie too. I think I don't remember what movie he did. Was it Catch Me If You Can? I haven't seen it, so I don't know. But
I don't remember.
But basically, he did like 3 movies that year, so he was pretty busy, and so he kind of had another guy helping him out with Chamber of Secrets specifically. Like he was composing for Chamber of Secrets, but then had this other guy take care of most of everything else, like the the actual arranging and conducting and stuff.
Yeah.
And so there's a cue from Attack of the Clones, the speeder bike chase on Coruscant.
Oh,
That
yeah,
music is actually in the Quidditch scene in Chamber of Secrets.
You're
with
kidding.
the Rogue Bludger scene. No, I'm not.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's so funny. But it's
That's so cool.
But it's like but you can't tell which movie it was made for. Like, if you looking into the background, it's like, okay, most likely it was written for Attack of the Clones and then accidentally put into Chamber of Secrets by this other guy. But like, you listen to the soundtrack and it blends in perfectly. Like the lead into of that cue and everything, it's like so perfect that it feels like it was made for Chamber of Secrets. It's just like super interesting.
That's a fun Easter egg. I like that.
Yeah, like completely unintentional Easter egg. Like, movie accidents are so fun, so funny to look at sometimes. There's a shot of Gimli losing his boot at the beginning of Two Towers as the trio are running chasing after the orcs. There's like this helicopter shot of way above, but if you look closely at this small little Gimli on the ground, he loses his boot but keeps on running.
Just to not mess up the scene. Yeah.
Yeah. And you look for that stuff, and it's crazy like how many little mistakes that actually make it into the final cut that nobody noticed.
Yeah. And then like the people who do notice, like super fans, like they just find it funny at that point. Like, that's such
it's
small
like movie
mistakes
history.
like that. Yeah, just little
like
Easter eggs.
The stormtrooper bumping his head in A New Hope.
New Hope, yeah. On the door, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's also one. I don't know if you want to hear this one because it might. It's during like a pivotal emotional scene in Return of the Jedi, and if you notice that, you'll never.
Which one? There's so many.
During the duel with Luke and Vader. Like, Luke's never, and he just wails on Vader.
Never.
Like that super intense emotional scene. There is a mistake in there that I'm not sure if you want to hear because it might ruin the scene for you.
Yeah,
just a little bit.
Whatever.
Okay, you know how the lightsabers were like metal rods, and then they used film that they like lit up the film and stuff to make them lightsabers.
And it was
You can see the shadows of the rods on the floor as they're dueling from like the studio lights that no one noticed. And it never got fixed in any of these special editions because I don't even think George Lucas noticed as he was going through and fixing stuff like that. It's still on Disney Plus. It's on the Disney Plus, the most recent version of the film.
That is kind of annoying, but honestly, at that point, it's like if even George Lucas didn't notice it, like, what are the odds that
my brother had to point it out? Right, my brother had to point it out to me, and I kind of hate it now because, like, it's like this super. It is like the most emotional scene. The music is amazing.
The entire movie.
I've got like the 90s 2-disc like expanded release of Return of the Jedi soundtrack, and so it's on there, and it's so good. And then it's like, but you can see the shadows of the lightsabers on the floor.
Yeah, that's what happens when you don't have full CGI. You try to make a movie like that.
Oh, man.
I'm surprised there aren't any scenes where they like accidentally missed like a little like support beam for like a model X-wing or TIE fighter or something that accidentally got into the final cut. And I'm surprised they didn't have any of that, to be honest. Just with the limited technology they had.
Yeah. Yeah, but for the most part, the way they had to do the special effects back then is they had to literally go in and cut the film and like overlay pieces of film with each other. So like, they the big metal rod holding up a Model X-wing, they knew to cut that out and do stuff like that. It's like super interesting knowing the special effects back then. But anyway, we kind of got off track. I was trying to say facilitate. And that got us into this whole
Is that
discussion.
Where all of that came from?
Yeah. Facilitate,
wow.
facilitate.
And then good actors, and then just acting, and then
and then movies.
That was That was
Anyway,
quite the-
as I was saying, this season I really want to facilitate a lot of mini games. I want to build
Yeah, me too.
mini games. We had like a mini game district last season that had like 3 games, and 2 of them were finished by the end of the season. Like,
Yeah.
and so like there's the Halloween game, and then Lagging had his cloud hopping game. That was super fun. I've got probably 2 hours of footage from that game that we recorded like the last day of the season after I'd already released my final video. So like I kind of didn't have anywhere to put the footage, but I've still got it. So I don't know if you
I would
guys have
turn
an
it into a
idea.
short.
Well, I don't know. It was so funny. You kind of need a longer form of it because we just start laughing and keep laughing, and it just keeps building up over time. Just
It's just
like-
louder and louder.
like
laughter.
we all just like sounded so just like drunk, I think.
like hyenas. Yeah.
Yeah, like we were all laughing at the smallest things because we were all just having fun like the last day of the season. It was great. But yeah, I don't know where to put the footage.
Yeah.
So if anyone has any ideas, maybe like a season 4 throwback episode or something like that, I'd put it there. So yeah, I do have the footage. So if anyone has any ideas, let me know what I should do with it. But anyway, I really want to be doing some mini games and stuff. Maybe make a new mini game district, and hopefully encourage more people to join in, because a lot of people just really didn't last time. Like people would play the games after people were like, "Oh, I'm done with this mini game." But it was really only me. It was really only me and Lagging making any games, and Lagging did 2 of the 3 of them. So, and then the third one was a seasonal event, so it wasn't exactly like a year-round type game, you know.
Yeah. I think it would work more if we kept it like out of like the district format, because like on one hand that's good for like getting everyone in one place, but on the other hand it's also like then it just kind of it's space limited. It feels like then you can't have like a big expansive thing, because you don't want to like you kind of have to have your own. But like I want to make that Coliseum, but I also want to make it part of my base, so I'm building on the base in the process as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that wouldn't work if I just wanted to build a Roman Coliseum in a like mini game district.
Yeah,
I don't know. It really depends on the mini game too, because the replayability is also an important factor, because you don't want to get like 2 people to just play it once and then it never gets touched again.
Yeah, that's true. And last season we had it on Mushroom Island, which theoretically would have limited space, but we barely used, I'd say, like even like a fifth of the island. Like we did. No one was actually doing stuff, but like theoretically, yeah. If everyone was really into the minigame thing this season, like yeah, I guess we could fill up a Mushroom Island and theoretically run out of space. But I mean, if Echocraft season 7 showed anything, like Mushroom Islands can be expanded. Like people were
true.
filling that thing like crazy. The shopping district. Excuse me.
And then they just started going up and down, like actual cities. They just started expanding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, the season's been great so far. Like it's definitely been much more active than last season was. I love last season, but like I have to admit, like it wasn't. There was most of the time I was on by myself when I was on, whereas now it's like sometimes I'll be on by myself. A lot of the times I won't. So it's really really great, and people don't necessarily have to like do stuff together. Just being on at the same time it just gives you the feeling of community like so well. Like I can be building a mega base project by myself. Like the gameplay is by myself, and I'm maybe at the library, don't have access to a mic or whatever, but like other people are online and just kind of chatting in game chat or stuff like that, or running into each other.
You log in district. And you do the / just to say hi to someone, and then move on.
Yeah. So this season's been really great.
It's been fun.
Do you have any plans after the seed game is done? Like, or did I interrupt any plans this month for you?
No, I didn't. My plan really was to just keep building my base for the most part. It didn't really interrupt anything. Real life has kind of interrupted things a little bit, but like that's not something I can truly avoid for the most part, unless I absolutely go no life and like ruin any chances of me getting to any college ever. But that sounds like a bad idea, so.
I'm already in college. I've already got that out of the way. So I'm just in the middle of the semester, or between semesters right now on break. So I've got all the time in the world to. Oh, well, obviously I need to work, but yeah, I've got plenty of time to devote to YouTube, which has been great.
Yeah, I mean, I'm starting up high school again, going into senior year in 13 days, so that's going to be a little bit rough. But for the most part, honestly, after Wheat Wars, once I kind of start getting to the point where my base is like feeling good, because for the longest time, like the first 4 episodes I didn't have a base really.
Yeah.
I had the rocks, but I was like, 2 of the episodes, 3 and 4, were just me being capitalistic. So my base, quote unquote, was just a bunch of cobblestone farms.
Yeah.
And now I'm in the process of covering all of that up. So,
Yeah.
or at least putting pretty stuff next to them. And
yeah, last season I didn't have much of it. I wanted to do a mega base, and I'm kind of transferring those plans over into this season, and I'm really glad at the progress I've been able to make so far at like actually designing the thing in the creative world, and getting on actually building it pretty early in the season, because last time I waited way too long.
Yeah. I was thinking earlier, like the plans I have for this base are pretty extreme. Like in most survivor worlds, like alone, I wouldn't be able to do it. There's no way I would be able to build something this big just for myself for survivor world. But the fact that it's for content and it's for like a server that is shared by other people, I think I very well may be in the middle of creating the biggest base I've ever made, just because I can, because I have incentive to do so.
Yeah.
And it's great. It's amazing.
Yeah, me and Lucid had a conversation the other day about like, if we didn't have YouTube, would we still play Minecraft, or would we still play Minecraft the same? And he was saying he'd probably play it occasionally but like exclusively with friends.
Yeah.
And I was saying like I'd probably play it the same way. I'd probably still play single player and stuff. But probably not the same. I probably just wouldn't dedicate as much time to it. And like doing massive projects, because like I'd still play and I'd still enjoy it, but like I wouldn't feel too motivated to really grind and do massive things. I don't think. Obviously, it's been a while since I've played Minecraft just to play Minecraft
Alone,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah. Like I've got a single player world back from like 2014, like my first world ever. Not quite the first world ever. The first world ever, I died from a zombie like instantly and got scared out of it. But like the first world I started playing for real. Like I've still got that, but I don't think I've touched it in probably a year or two.
My first true survival world. I've had like a dozen different survival worlds, some of which were hardcore that I've bounced between until I kind of got into content creation and Echocraft, with the last of it being the 1.19 survival series world, which got yeeted into the abyss, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, yeah. My brother and I were doing a console edition world. Like I'll play Minecraft. I'll play Minecraft off camera with siblings.
Yeah.
And so we had a console edition world, and we were trying to we were trying to make base in a woodland mansion and transform this woodland mansion. And it's like we busted down all the walls on the 3rd floor to have like this big, room
open area.
Yeah, and we ended up losing it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
I mean I started Minecraft 10 years ago, I want to say. It's been almost a decade for sure.
It's been June 2014 for me.
Yeah, I'd say it was 2013, 2014. I don't remember exactly when. I don't have a specific date. I could honestly find it probably if I go into my PS3 world saves. Um,
Well, I found it
but
in my my account. Like it tells you the date you made your account, or at least it used to before they migrated to
oh,
Microsoft
I
accounts.
wonder
So I could
I
when
wonder
back
if
when it
that's still a
was
thing.
back on the you could go into the Minecraft website and log in your Mojang account and look at the day you created it. And so I that's how
Date
I know I
you
created my account a week before 1.8 came out. And so I had like this major update come out like right after I created my account, which is right as I started playing Minecraft, which was really exciting.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get to that. But I, whenever I was first playing on the PS3, I almost never played survival just because I found it really difficult to have like fast responses and stuff on a controller. I still find that difficult, but it was just not something I was ever interested in to begin with.
I love playing with a
Um,
controller. I just reinstalled a controller mod I had a while ago on the PC, so I can chill out with controller because I love that.
I mean, I didn't mind it like whenever that was what I was used to, I guess, but it was just survival was just never something that I was like incentivized to do. I guess it's kind of
Mm-hmm.
hard to explain. It's just not something I had like any real reason to do because
Mm-hmm.
the part I liked about Minecraft was the creativity side of it and therefore creative mode,
Yeah, yeah,
obviously.
yeah.
Um, so I was kind of at a point where I have this massive world still on my PS3. I still have the PS3. I still have that save. It's still there. Um, I'm really tempted to like see if I can go in and like export it just for history's sake. Um, and it is absolutely massive and sprawling. And I the only big creator I had watched at the time was Stampy Longnose, so I just
Oh,
built
I love Stampy.
building after building after building, like inspired by his lovely world. And I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure
that's
like the
my whole
actual
channel was
name,
inspired by his lovely world. Like
yeah,
it still is to a point. Like my single player world, I kind of want to have that same sort of thing, like creating
hmm
like a town with, except mine's going to be more functional. Like I'm building a library where all my librarian villagers are going to be, and then I'm
yeah,
going to build like a
yeah.
blacksmith for my blacksmith villagers, and so like they're going to kind of be. I'm starting with the villager types and like building different shops and stuff for them that are actually
hmm
functional that I can go in and get items from the
In
villagers.
different places for different farms and stuff.
Yeah.
That was kind of the idea I had for my 1.19 series too. That's kind of what I was doing with that. Like I was gonna have like a big. It was gonna be basically a big like industrial age city, and it was gonna have like every building was gonna have a purpose.
Hmm.
So I was gonna have a Moss building, and I was gonna have like a blacksmith building, and I was gonna have a Fletcher's building, and I was gonna have a like a wool building or something, and like etc.
Hmm.
Um, and it would have been cool, but
That's kind
before
of where
that
the
on the
go ahead.
okay, before that on the PS3, the survival aspect was not something I cared about, so I was none of the buildings had any purpose whatsoever. They were all just completely just random. Like I just built a build. One time I got a couple of my friends on it over the course of a few years, and like my friend Connor just literally just the only thing he ever built was a giant lapis lazuli tower. It was just a rectangle that went straight up into the sky like 10 stories and just in the middle of the world. And I thought it was the coolest thing ever. It was good times. Good times when I thought lapis lazuli towers were good builds.
Well, I was about to say, part of I've got my single player world and I've kind of got the town Stampy's Lovely World, like kind of that town thing
Hmm
going, but like I don't think I'm gonna build any mini games in my single player world because it's a single player world. No one else is gonna ever play
No one else
them.
is gonna play it.
Like
Yeah.
he's got people coming on his world or whatever, but so that's kind of to scratch that itch a little bit is kind of why I want to do mini games on Echocraft and
Yeah.
build stuff like that people can play because those are always the mini games are always the best parts of his lovely world. Like the shops and stuff are cool, but for the most part his weren't super functional. So
Yeah.
it was more just like for
It was always the mini game section
yeah,
that
the
was
mini
the
games
coolest
are
part.
always the mini game episodes are always the best. And like I've got like a recreation of his world that I used to work on super consistently, and I've slacked on it for like the past few years, especially since his world is ending soon and he's gonna release it anyway.
Oh,
yeah, he did announce that he's ending his lovely world pretty soon, and then he's gonna have a world download. Yeah, it's on Twitter. It was in a few of his recent videos. Yeah.
Well, at least he's releasing it. Yeah.
Yeah. But like he's releasing it, and he's gonna have. I think he said he's gonna have someone help him with converting it to Java. Although I know how to do that anyway. So even if he just releases a Bedrock version of the world, I can convert it myself. I did that with my single player world. I don't know if you've seen that. It used to be on Bedrock on Nintendo Switch, which is not a great game. It's not stable at all. Me and my brother were fighting the weather earlier, and it was lagging like crazy. It was terrible. It was terrible. I don't know how how someone at Microsoft thought it was acceptable to release a game like that, you know. But anyway, yeah. So after a while, I just got tired of recording on the Switch. I just got tired of all the technical issues I was having, so I put it on a Realm, download it, convert it to PC, and that's where it is right now. And then I haven't touched it in a while because my computer is too slow to run a world and record at the same time. I can connect to a server because another computer is doing all the heavy lifting. Yeah, but I can't run a single player world on my PC and record at the same time, which is the reason that hasn't. Otherwise, I'd definitely still be. I haven't finished the library. I got the library and I got all the villagers in there, and now they're changing the villagers, which is going to be interesting. Not sure I'm gonna fix that, but yeah, I've also been really struggling with some redstone in there, so I might ask some of the Echoes for help, trying to figure out some of the redstone, because I want to have like a book return system. And someone can go to the outside of the library and open up a trapdoor and throw their book in there, or they, as in me, if I need like enchantment books, that's gonna be where I keep like the spare enchantment books. So I want to have like this fun little book return system. So like, whenever I need to drop off my enchantment, whenever I need to drop off spare enchantment books, I can just throw them in the book return. And so they're gonna be in like this back room where I can go and get them if I need them, for enchanting. But I am really struggling with the redstone because I was trying to have it go under the floor and then pop up through dispensers into barrels. It's not working out very well. So
yeah, sounds cool. That sounds like an interesting concept, though.
I've got all the time in the world to work out the redstone because, like I said, it's going to be a while before I record any new videos on that world, and I'm going to need a gaming PC or I'm going to have to put it on a server of my own, just like a but that's not ideal either, because you get issues
ads
with lag.
And stuff. Yeah. And if it's a free one, there's always ads like in the chat or something.
No, Attributions is not bad. Attributions is it's kind of our go-to for if we need a server for like a private server with friends. It's free. It's pretty good. It's not very fast. I think it's like max 8 gigs of RAM or something like that.
Yeah, but that's better than your laptop probably.
Yeah, but then you run it. Okay, it's like my laptop. It's like either my laptop or my internet. Neither of them are good enough to run, a single player survival world consistently. Especially if I'm using data on Echocraft, because the home Wi-Fi is not good enough, so I've been using my like hotspot data, and sometimes and a lot of the time I'll just go to the library to save on hotspot data, So yeah, I've got issues with that survival world, but I still love it. I haven't abandoned it. I just physically cannot record it right now, which is sad. But it's given me plenty of time to dedicate to Echocraft, which has been great.
Yeah, at least you can still do one of them. At least you're not stuck with either of them.
Yeah. Anyway, we've still got plenty of questions in the community Discord.
Community Discord.
Let's see. We got some newer ones, I think. Let's see. This kind of fits with the conversation we've been having. Spriggan 12 says, what goes behind the scenes of making videos? Is there any advanced planning in place? That really depends for me.
Yeah, it really does. It really does for me as well.
The Charged Creeper video, I was just winging it every step of the way. I had this idea. I had an idea, and I was like, okay, I know how to do this. It's fairly simple. I know how to make it. I know how to trap a creeper. I thought I knew how to trap a creeper anyways. I know how charged creepers work. I know how lightning rods work. I can do this. And so that was like completely. I completely winged that. Yeah.
Yeah.
As well as the.
How did that go for you?
It made a fun video in the end.
It did make a fun video.
The Wheat Wars was actually, I came up with it like 2 days before I built the hourglasses, because it really just like came to me as like, this would be so fun. So like I did that. It took me 15 minutes in the creative world to design the hourglasses and the arena, and I just built it. And it's turned out really successful so far. Everyone is loving it. But yeah.
Yeah,
but
I mean, if it works, it works.
Yeah. But when it comes to building, a lot of the times I'll do it in a creative world. My mega base, I've done like terraforming and stuff, and the first I've got the basic design of my mega base. I've got like the entrance completely designed. The roof is like 50.
Oh, nice.
The roof's like it's like the front wall and like most of the roof. That's all I have. It's literally just like a big. It's literally just a big L. it's literally just an upside down. It's just a big upside down L. That's all I have for my mega base right now planned. And I'm gonna be building that in the next few episodes, as well as all the terraforming and stuff. I've got. I just installed World Edit recently, which has been great.
Oh yeah.
Learning how to use that for terrain to be able to like smooth out things, and yeah, that's been super great. So I've been this past week when I haven't been recording or playing on Echocraft, I've been in World Edit on the seed and and playing
just
around with the terrain.
Out.
Yeah. Yeah, so because I really need the terrain first, and then I'm gonna start building the
and
the
you
thing.
can build, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of did that in reverse. I started planning the base like towards the end of last season, really. I didn't have the time to do it last season, so a lot of those designs have kind of been carried over, and so I kind of did a lot of that, and I was like, wait, I don't have the terrain I need. I need like, because I want rolling wheat fields. There's way too many hills, so I've been kind of smoothing out a bit of the area, stuff like that. So yeah, I've been playing a lot with World Edit this past week or so.
Yeah. I probably should play more with World Edit and like Lightmatica than I do, just because I am purportedly a builder by my own accord, and I don't really use any of the tools that professional builders do for the most part. Mm-hmm. Most of the time, I just kind of wing my building. I just kind of go with it. And I haven't terraformed almost at all in my mountain. I've just kind of been building off the base mountain and going with it. And it's worked out so far, but we'll see how it goes from there.
I don't trust myself to wing things most of the time.
Yeah.
Like I was gonna wing my. Going into the season, episode 1, I was like, okay, I'm just going to wing my starter base. That didn't happen. Day one happened, and we recorded for 4 hours or something like that. And I was like, okay, I need to make my starter base. I'm going to go into Grave World really quick. So I came up with the starter base there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got a Grave World that I'd love to show off sometime in a video, but there's way too many spoilers. I will. There was a period of time, in my single player world, where I just had too many ideas to record, at a time. So I would mock them up in a creative world, and in this one creator world. I have a tester world, and so I've got so many buildings in there that I was coming up with faster than I could record, and now I can't record that world right now, and so I've got so many like survivor world builds in there.
Just sitting. Yeah.
Yeah, just sitting there, and some of them are massive. So it's
Waiting for their turn.
yeah, waiting for their turn. Like I've got the interior of my mob farm Halloween mansion. I don't know how many of you remember that. It was before I joined Echocraft, so not a whole ton of people were watching. But I made like this haunted mansion that I wanted to convert into a mob farm. Like I built it specifically to become a mob farm. And so right now in the survival world, it's just bare on the inside. It's completely empty, but I've got it all designed in a creative world. So when I do start recording that world again, it'll probably be, finish up the library, finish up these little projects that I kind of did half of and then stopped.
Yeah. And then go back to the mansion and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I usually don't plan my builds, but I usually do plan like an idea for what the video is revolving around. Like every episode, I kind of have to have like one central theme. I just knocked my mic across the room.
I didn't hear it. It's fine.
Yeah, it's on a arm. It should be fine.
I've got an arm too, and if I knock it around, you can hear it.
If I do it aggressively, you can.
I could kind of hear that. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's really difficult because sometimes I don't know what I'm gonna make an episode about, so I just start recording and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, and usually when I do that, you can tell like the quality is less because I'm just kind of stumbling around trying to find something to do. But when I know what I want to do, like last episode, that's in my opinion one of the best episodes I've ever made. But that's because I knew I was going to be working on the Wheat Wars the entire time, and that's what I was doing. And like bouncing around doing a couple mismatched things here and there, like that's fine, but like I like having one specific goal in an episode.
Yeah.
And so I kind of have to plan. I've learned what I'm doing, but not so much how I'm doing it or what I'm doing to do what I'm doing. If that makes sense. But yeah, it is a process just because you have to just sometimes just sit and think about it a little bit or like do something else and think about it. Just
I have to be, because I have a long history of just single player videos. Like before Echocraft, I barely did any multiplayer stuff at all. I did like adventure maps with siblings and friends and sometimes, but yeah, for the most part it's a single player Minecraft world, single player challenges, single player playthroughs. And so I have to like, especially now with this season with a lot of people more active, I have to like be more open to not planning so much and letting like random encounters. Pokemon music starts like random encounters with other heroes. That was just a dumb thought in my head. I'm sorry. Wild lucid approaches. But yeah, but like random stuff like that to let those happen and let those kind of carry the video sometimes, because my sister she's like pretty open about, she doesn't really watch my videos unless I'm interacting with other people, because she doesn't like the single player stuff. And so like she's a good gauge about what makes a good or what a general audience will probably enjoy more. Like I definitely try to mix single player and single player projects like my mega base with multiplayer stuff. Like last episode, I really think I had a good mix. I had the single player building the hourglasses and stuff, and then you and Rabbit came along. And we had that kind of happening at the last half of the episode. And we had like the little arena duel and stuff. And that was like a good mix. And that's why I've been trying to do it a bit more. Whereas last season, I could get away with just doing single player stuff a lot of the time because a lot of the time a lot of people weren't on. So that's something this season specifically I've been trying to do. So I've been trying to. I still plan things, but I don't meticulously plan every step of the video like I used to.
Because you know something random's probably going to happen in the middle of it, and that'll be fun. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's like the kind of thing that happened at the end of, I think it was episode 2 or 3 for me. Was
it the one with Sassy and
Lucid and the boats and pretending to be a villager? Like, that was so random. Like, even in the middle of it, I completely broke character, and I was like, "Why? What am I doing? Why is this going to be on the internet?" And then I was like, "Oh nope, this is funny. I have to do it for the content." And then I went straight back into it.
It was so funny. It was so funny. I really want to play with Sassy and Sully more. It's hard to get on when they're on
because of time zones, especially for you because you're.
I'm way on the west
12
of
hours
the US.
off.
Yeah, 8.
You're what?
It's 8.
8. No.
It's 8 hours off of the UK. It's 8 hours.
Okay. But it's still kind of rough because
it's like even if I'm on by noon, like noon is like even if I'm on by noon, it's already like 8 p.m.
It's 8 p.m. for them.
Like I have to if I want to play with them, I have to get up and plan it. Yeah, plan like 8 a.m. or something like that. And by then it's already like late in the afternoon. It's like 4, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a bit difficult. So it's really like meetings whenever we do have meetings or like the podcast or just like scheduled events like the Halloween event. Like those are the moments I play with them really at all. Which I really hate. I really want to play with them more because Sassy and Sully are both so fun. They're both so fun to play with.
Sassy took my cease and desist orders really well. better than he probably should have, honestly, because of how annoying I'm speaking.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we kind of got off track from the question. But yeah. That's what I do for my videos, and Pizza kind of explained the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, Fluffy says, "Do you even look at these?" And then you threw in a Loki gif. Says, "Come on, what did you expect?"
Yeah.
Yes, we do look at these. On average per day, how much time do you spend on YouTube recording, editing, etc.? Really depends for me. I'd say probably 2 hours a day, on average.
It depends on my day because I could have a bajillion things going on, and
it depends on if I'm like in a grinding mood. Like yesterday, I spent a good amount of time terraforming, and I was just at the library, just kind of chilling. And I could have gone on for a few hours if the library hadn't closed first. Editing I can't do in long stretches. Just like mentally, just because it's like mine's not super in depth. It's just kind of cutting and pasting and cutting and pasting and just just taking a 2-hour recording and turning it into a 20-minute video just by cutting out the boring stuff. And so when all I'm doing is cutting out the boring stuff, it tends to get a little boring sometimes.
Yeah.
So I can't. I don't really do those long stretches.
I have done really long stretches of editing before, like 3 or 4 hours at a time, just because I don't know what it is with me. I just really like editing for whatever reason. Because if I'm just in it, I'll just find something like, oh, I can make this hilarious just with like a little bit of an edit, and I'll do it, and it'll be funny, and then I'll actually play the video. I'm like, it's a little less funny than I thought it would be, but it's still there. I'm still gonna keep it there, and I just do that like every 10 minutes, and I find something new that I can add in, and it's just I don't know if it's so much that or I'm egotistical and I love the sound of my own voice, but I mean either way, helps me edit. But it's weird because I think on average, I'd probably say an hour and a half, maybe 2 per day. It really depends, though. It also depends on the week, even because it's not
even every day for me. Like like when I was in college, yeah, it was way less. Now I'm on summer break. It's probably 2 hours on the days I do work on YouTube videos, which is probably anywhere, depending on the week, anywhere from like 3 to 6 days a week.
Yeah.
And it really fluctuates. Normally it's about 4 or 5, like somewhere in the middle there.
My goal is usually to work on it like 3 or 4 days a week, but sometimes it's only down to like 2. It depends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does really, really depend. Recently, this last week, it's been very, very much like every day for a few hours, just because like I've been really in the mood for it. I'm really excited with the new season. Like everyone's active, and plus I have to keep track of the Wheat Wars. I can't just go offline for 2 weeks. I have to like be active.
Where'd
in this.
you go?
So that's kind of forced me to be more active on the server and try to put out videos quicker, so that I'm not just like I like this month especially. I'm like, okay, I kind of want to get a video every trying to get a video out every week and a half or so. So it's not just like, here's the beginning of the video, here's the points, and then by the end of the video, it's like 2 weeks later, and the points are super different. Like there's no tension in that. it's like if the 20-minute video spans 2 weeks, the competition's going to be over. And so I kind of want to have this building up over multiple episodes. So that's kind of what's been motivating me, especially this past week, to really just get on and just pound out a video, which has been fun because it's been very grindy, but I kind of like grindy stuff, especially if I can like listen to music or something like that. So yeah, like I said, I've been doing terraforming, and maybe we're recording right after this on the server. You're giving me a tour of your wheat farm, so
yep.
This video is hopefully going to take a bit less time to come out than normally. The season's been about once a month, which it's not great. I definitely want. I want to do like every other week, and that never happens.
Yeah.
But this month especially, I've been like really working on that.
Yeah. Every other week has usually been my norm. I had like a dry spell for a while where I was working on a bunch of videos at once because it was part of a series, but I couldn't like post one video without revealing secrets to everyone else who was in the series. And I had a dry spell for the longest time where like it went down to like a video per month maybe. And then I had like 8 videos within the span of 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks or something.
It's inconsistent. It's definitely inconsistent.
Yeah, I think honestly that really hurt my channel algorithmically, I think, because all of those videos got like 20 views or less, and I've been slowly making my way up in view count like since then. So I think that was honestly a mistake on my end trying to do that, but you live and you learn. But my goal has always been to try to be at least somewhat consistent with it. Every 2-3 weeks maximum is kind of my goal, but yeah.
All right, let's see. One more question. Fan Sue you, I think that's how you say it. What's the best thing about the podcast that you like? The nerdy conversations. Absolutely, the nerdy conversations.
Nerdy conversations. There aren't many people in real life who I'm friends with, like who I actually like see their faces on a regular basis, who are as much of a nerd as I am, if not more. And through this alone, I have found, Pokey, obviously, because he's in every single one. Lucid, have I been in a podcast episode with Lucid? I don't think I have.
I don't know.
I don't think I have.
I can.
But anyways, the last one I was in that wasn't the one before. That was also just with Pokey. It was Magpie and Rabbit, and like they're not as much of nerds as us, but like more than the average person.
Yeah.
Like that's not something I usually.
Well, you were also gone most of that
basis.
episode. You were.
Yeah, I was
doing
feeding
those.
fish for half of it. But yeah, definitely the nerdy conversations. It's a plus.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I think I mentioned this before, but I just beat Combat Evolved, Halo Combat Evolved.
Yeah,
For the first
I
time.
think you did say that.
Yeah.
Woo!
So that was fun. I've actually started going back and doing like a terminal run on anniversary graphics because I wanted to experience classic
And the
obviously
OG,
first run I'd do the classic graphics, and that's probably going to be the one I do most of the time because it's just kind of better. But like I have been doing an anniversary playthrough by myself because I've been playing it. So I've got another friend. Neither of us have played the Halo games at all, so we're going through them together. And so yeah, we've been going through them together, and we're 3 or 4 levels into Halo 2 right now. We finished the Arbiter, and like the Earth levels. But yeah, then I've gone back on single player and done. I beat the library. The library was interesting. I played it on easy mode, and I genuinely liked it. I actually genuinely liked the library on easy mode.
On easy mode it's not too bad. And then
I wouldn't even say not
difficulty?
too bad. It's just like, well, we've been playing heroic. That's kind of like the default, like way it's meant to be played, difficulty. But no, like on easy mode, like the library is just it's
fun.
Running. Yeah, you're just like running through and just trying to stay alive, but it's not annoying.
Yeah.
So I really like the library on easy mode, and that's one of the better levels on anniversary graphics too, because a lot of the time the anniversary graphics really feel over designed and kind of too bright, like 343 Guilty Spark. Like the previous level, 343 Guilty Spark, the swamp loses so much atmosphere in the anniversary graphics. Which is like the whole point of that level is the atmosphere. But the library, I think I prefer anniversary graphics on the library, personally. As well as probably like the snowy levels, like 2 Betrayals and Assault on the Control Room.
Snowy levels are nice, just because it's not like it like brightens it up a bit like snow should be.
Yeah. And there's like icicles that weren't in the original version, like hanging off the cliffs and stuff. And so there's a few levels I do prefer in anniversary, and then a few levels I definitely prefer classic, like Pillar of Autumn, Halo. Halo's like 50-50. It's the skyboxes I think look great in anniversary, especially like the sniping scene, the sniping level in Truth and Reconciliation. The first half of that, the sniping bit, the skybox is amazing in anniversary graphics. And then you get onto the ship, is like, nope, I'm switching back. The inside of the Truth and Reconciliation is probably one of the worst changes in the new one.
Yeah, that's completely understandable.
Yeah, and Ahsoka's coming out next week, which is
I'm excited.
Really exciting. I don't know. I'm not gonna say, in case you guys haven't been watching the TV spots. My sister's like one of those people who doesn't watch any trailers. She doesn't like some trailers can be really spoilery sometimes, and so she just avoids them altogether. And she doesn't want me telling her anything that's in trailers. So I'm not gonna say, in case there's other people on the podcast like that, because I have experience with a person who is like that. I know to be careful. But one of the recent TV spots has gotten me really, really excited. And Pizza, I could tell you after the podcast if you want, for everything that's happening. It's definitely it really feels, because Dave Filoni is in charge of all of it. Like, he's 100%. He's writing, directing.
We love Dave Filoni.
Yeah, like he did the Clone Wars. He did Rebels. Like, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, Dave Filoni's gonna do terrible because Dave Filoni only does cameos or whatever." But they don't
no,
those kind of people don't understand. Those kind of people don't understand that, like, Dave Filoni was trained by George Lucas personally. And George Lucas came on the set of Mando Season 2 in the Ahsoka episode and literally told Kathy Kennedy and Jon Favreau, he's like, trust Dave. Trust Dave. He like fully gave Dave his blessing on the set of The Mandalorian. The episode, a lot of people are saying like, oh, it's too, Mando Season 2 was way too, way too camo
out there.
Yeah.
Not enough like actual Mando. Too much. Yeah. Cameos, but yeah, that's the thing though. And then you get into the argument of like, some people believe that what is quote unquote best for Star Wars is not exactly what's best, like in George Lucas's mind or in Dave Filoni's mind. Like people will like believe so much in this fandom that they will ignore the people who made it, right? The people who made it originally, like, and at that point, I'm fully willing to just sit back and say, hey, you know what? You created it, you do you, and I'll, I may not like everything, but you built it in the first place. I trust you.
Yeah, and I know some people are like, Star Wars is not Star Wars without Jedi and the Force and stuff. So Andor, a lot of people didn't like Andor because it was like, oh, it's slow, it's boring, it's a political drama. Political drama doesn't belong in Star Wars.
Was the best.
Did you watch
Star
the prequels
Wars in years? Yeah,
it's like,
the prequels were so.
Everyone talks about how Andor as a political drama doesn't belong in Star Wars, but that's all the prequels were about. George Lucas wanted the prequels to be political drama and character drama, like those two halves. Like
even the original trilogy had a good bit of political drama, like in its own sense, like especially near the end where it was becoming the New Republic.
Yeah, it's like a New Hope. You've got like these council of Imperial members, and they're talking about they're talking about the Senate and the Emperor, and like there was quite a bit of political stuff in the first movie. It was like he wrote it. He very intentionally wrote it as an allegory for the Vietnam War.
With inspiration from World War II as well.
Yeah. Like World War II films and dogfights and stuff, but as an allegory for like World War II and stuff that was going on. It's like Star Wars has always been political drama from the beginning, and it's just more. It's more in your face in the prequels than in Andor, and people don't quite like that, but I do. I really liked Andor.
Yeah. I think it's awesome. That like this amazing like sci-fi. I struggle to call it. I almost called it a thriller. It's not really a thriller, but like it's Star Wars. Like I don't know what else I'm supposed to say. Like Star Wars is also a legitimate force for like social movement. Like, and it's incredible. Like, and that goes with any like show or fandom that has similar themes, but. Star Wars in particular has just been around so long. It's one of the earliest ones to have really done that in that style. And that's really cool. I like it.
Yeah. But anyway, I think that's probably as much time as we have. We've been recording for an hour 16.
Pretty
we
much
didn't quite
an hour.
Start. Yeah, we didn't start then.
It was probably the first like 5-10 minutes we're off, but
Yeah. But yeah, we've been going for a while, but this has been a fun conversation. Hopefully we can get more people. You've been on quite a bit in the podcast. you're kind of like I'm the host, and you're kind of like the default second guy. You're like you're like honorary host at this point.
we're the two least busy people.
Yeah. But yeah, hopefully we should get these more often. I'm so sorry this took so long to come out. I got busy. Life got in the way. I moved home from college and all this kind of stuff. But yeah, hopefully some more episodes should come out pretty soon. And yeah, keep track of the Wheat Wars, I guess, if you guys are interested in that.
Yes.
By the time this episode comes out, let's see, let me just check the calendar really quick. By the time this episode comes out, we'll have about a week and a half left in the competition, which will be hopefully really exciting. So yeah, hope you guys are enjoying, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.